The way in which the Lord made use of what was understandable to these strange, mysterious characters is a lesson to us, because the Lord has ways and means of guiding us, talking to us, and making us do what He wants. The condition on our part is that we be as open as they were. What were they doing? They were studying, they were watching, they were observing. There was therefore a certain interiority in the affair. It is true that 2,000 years ago, the stillness of life and nature favoured interiority. We are handicapped unless we react against it. As we start a new year, we need to be aware of the danger that we can run through its hours, overloading them. The quality of the hours risks being in inverse proportion to the stress factor. This morning I happened to pick up this, which I had read years ago in school days. It was in the autobiography of the one who became Saint John the 23rd, but in those days there was no way of knowing that he would be canonized. A friend of mine who was a high Anglican gave this to me when I was becoming a Catholic. He died very early, actually, even after his ordination to the Anglican priesthood, of cancer. A reminder of the fragility of our existence. People come and go into our days. So he is writing this in Rome when he's just a seminarian. And I remember being touched by it in school days. Listen. It is Christmas Eve in the seminary in Rome. He's a young man. He writes this in his diary. Night has fallen. The clear, bright stars are sparkling in the cold air. Noisy, strident voices rise to my ear from the city. Voices of the revellers of this world, who celebrate with merrymaking the poverty of their Saviour. Around me, in their rooms, my companions are asleep, and I am still wakeful, thinking of the mystery of Bethlehem. Come, come, Jesus, I await you. He goes on to describe the scene that he is seeing before him in imagination, the poverty and utter simplicity that was the first Christmas. I am moved to tears, he goes on, but I have nothing better to offer you, Jesus. Honour my soul with your presence, adorn it with your graces. And so he goes into this mode, all I have is my soul. That applies to us. All we have is our soul. And if that soul is all stressed and hyped up, what rest will he find therein? Burn this straw and change it into a soft couch for your most holy body. Now, when it comes to Holy Communion, for every Mass is Christmas, is it not true that that complaint could be heard again? There was no room for him in the inn. The shelter of our soul has crowded him out with more important things. Even when we're at the Eucharistic encounter, we're calculating the following moment when real life is about to begin. Jesus, I am here, waiting for your coming. Wicked men have driven you out. and the wind is like ice. I am a poor man, but I will warm you as well as I can. That too we can do in this year. People come towards a person and can go away cold-shouldered or strangely warmed. Would it be not a grace to ask for, Lord, grant that in this year every person that draws close to me be warmed. At least be pleased that I wish to welcome you warmly, to love you and sacrifice myself for you. I'm blessed in the situation in the Latin Mass to have plethora of children in very good families, and they start serving very young, around 5 if they can. And it's great to see it because there's a warmth and a spontaneity there which actually is pleasing to the angels. It's as though the angelic world is very close to the terrestrial world at that point, because the child at around 5 is very close to the angels, and they perceive and receive very, very well the graces in the air. And we need to be aware of that every time we're close to the mystery of a little person. Old Nick knows it, and he can't bear it. All these Christmas gifts they have received now will have damaged many children in a few days by hyping them up even more. They're not made for that. Simplicity is a simple mode of engaging with life, and life is felt far more in it. It applies also to our own rapport. We don't need technology between us. Souls encounter each other better without anything but themselves in the midst. So quality life also is made of that simplicity, of risking again to be where they were, either coming from the Far East or from the hills where the shepherds heard angelic voices. Heaven is around us. I just conclude with words of somebody who used his long innings well. It's the great Newman. No one could have known the way his life would go. What is less known is that he was actually a very good and holy Anglican, because one can see from the things he's written that he took very seriously his own ordination, even though later on he saw it wasn't valid. And he was actually a very good pastor. Not in a noisy way, but he was genuinely caring. That too applies to us. The spectacular is not always, in the long run, the most efficacious. If a person knows and feels that he's loved, that actually goes far deeper. So I conclude with this as we start this new year and hand it over to its giver. God has created me to do him some definite service. He has committed some work to me which he has not committed to another. I have my mission. I may never know it in this life, but I shall be told it in the next. I am a link in a chain, a bond of connection between persons. He has not created me for naught. I shall do good. I shall do his work. I shall be an angel of peace, a preacher of truth, in my own place, while not intending it, if I do but keep his commandments. Therefore I will trust him. Whatever, wherever I am, I can never be thrown away. If I am in sickness, my sickness may serve him. In perplexity, my perplexity may serve him. He does nothing in vain. He knows what he is about. He may take away my friends. He may throw me among strangers. He may make me feel desolate, make my spirits sink, hide my future from me. Still, he knows what he is.